So Tennessee Republicans are whining about the fact that people are calling them racists. And all I have to say is, if the shoe fits, let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. I'm also a lawyer and an academic, and I'm here to help you stand up to the BS of the MAGA crowd. So poor Tennessee Republicans, they're being held to account for their actions. Imagine that. Just listen to this leaked audio that I'm sure Republicans were very unhappy actually got out into the public.
I think now, more than ever, everyone should recognize that Democrats are not our friends.
Okay, they're attacking Democrats because we're not their friends. I mean, it just shows kind of this attitude that you've seen among Republicans that somehow they're under assault by this liberal culture. I mean, the thing they seem to be forgetting is that they're the ones who kicked the Democrats out of the legislature. To say that Democrats aren't their friends and yet they're voting to remove people, it just shows this lack of connection between their actions and response. But let's keep watching.
Listen, for the last 3 days, the Democrats, Sam McKenzie, the Chisholm, Parkinson, trash us as racists. I've never had anybody call me a racist. And for the last 3 days, all I have heard from them is how this is the most racist place. One of these white supremacists. Good Lord, we have to realize they are not our friends. They can smile, man, that doesn't mean I can't be polite to them, but they are not our friends. They destroy the republic and the foundation of who we are, or we preserve it. That is the reality where we are right now. And if these last 3 days have not proven that, we need to find a new job. There has never been a more important time for us to be unified. There are 75 of us. Let them call their name, of the names they're going to call. Then we need to move forward. We need to pass the gun bill. We need to pass the pronoun bill, wherever Mark is. Man, we do not slow down because of their trash. We can't. The only way we move forward with some sort of unity is to call out what happened on the House floor the other night. Yes, sir. I feel like we were hung out to dry by a couple of members. And Jody...
All right, so the rest of the video goes on where they're fighting but among themselves because a couple of their members ended up voting to retain the white woman in the legislature while voting to expel the 2 black members. 2 black members who, of course, were immediately returned by unanimous votes of their districts. At any rate, if you want to listen to the rest of the video, of course, I will post a link down below. But what strikes me about this conversation is just how completely these Republicans have been able to divorce themselves from the consequences of their own actions. I mean, they say, poor us. We've been called racist after we expelled 2 members of the legislature, forgetting the fact that the 2 members they expelled were, of course, black Democrats, and the one they voted not to expel was a white Democrat. Gee, I wonder what the difference is. It's funny, the implications of this situation were not lost on the woman who is not expelled, Gloria Johnson, who pointed out that it's interesting the difference between their cases. But this isn't the only example of Tennessee Republicans behaving in racist ways. I mean, in Tennessee, you've got Nashville as one of the major metropolitan areas, where you've got a large black majority inner city. So what does the Tennessee legislature do? Why, they vote to cut down on the size of their city council to make it that there's less black representation. I mean, this is on top of the constant stream of examples of Republicans across the country standing up for violent white extremists at the expense, in particular, of young black men. Consider that the Texas governor is looking to pardon a man convicted of the murder in a Black Lives Matter shooting. Because, of course, he was a white man and he was scared of those Black Lives Matter protesters. And yet these are the same people who will stand up for the insurrectionists of January 6th, who would drag law enforcement officers out of the Capitol and beat them up. Not quite the same thing as engaging in a peaceful protest against free access to guns at the Tennessee legislature. So the point of all this is, if Republicans don't want to be treated as racists, don't behave like racists. Make sure that the same law that applies to black people also applies to white people. Imagine that! And don't try to be continually disempowering black people from expressing their opinions. I know that it makes you uncomfortable, but guess what? That's racism! Well, if you want to see another video about how racism has become central to the Republican Party's identity, check out this video over here. We all know about racist Ron DeSantis, but he's, of course, one of the leaders in the party. I'll see you then. In the meantime, let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.